Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Zagard-tastic stream. It's your friend, the one, the only Z, a single Zagard, and I hope you're all having a wonderful morning, noon, night, evening, whatever time it is for you today. Welcome back to the Dragon's Den, my friends, and we are not joined with the one, the only, the Mythology guy, because he is actually not here right now. He is gone. He's off doing stuff. He's a very busy man right now. He's a very busy man, you know, hunting down those mythologies in the wild Serengetis with his mythology slingshot. Yes, this metaphor has kind of gotten away from me. Anyways, yes, Andrew's not here. He's very busy, and he had a lot of stuff he has to do over the next couple weeks. He's going back and forth between a bunch of different places right now. So it's just going to be a solo stream with me, which is awesome. You're welcome. I'm the greatest. And I was going to try and set up a stream for, what's it called? Kingdom Come Deliverance. But I had been working so hard on this, the next video coming out. Like, I was pushing it. That's why we didn't have a stream on Monday. I was just working on that all day, that day and yesterday. And I just finished pretty much up to 90%. There's like 10% left. And you might think, oh, why don't you just finish the 10% today? And I could, but I wanted to stream. And I wanted to give my brain a bit of a break. And it is already almost 4:30. If this was the work day, there'd be 30 minutes left. So those last 10%, it's not like it won't take me 10 minutes. It's still a few hours of work for the final 10%. Because the final 10% for me includes getting the outro completely done, making sure all errors are corrected, fixing any audio that I notice, and making the thumbnail. So that's like 3 or 4 things that I still have to do, and each one of those is like a couple hours of time. The one that would probably take the least amount of time is correcting the errors, because I send that to Andrew, and then he checks and he's like, oh, yeah, no, this is mostly good, but fix this here and here because I don't like this. Or sometimes, if you've ever noticed miss a spelling error in the videos, that's me, because I'm just terrible at spelling. It's part of my ADHD. I type too fast, and I don't really read what I write. So it's just a lot for the last 10%. You want to debate him about something. Okay, well, you can debate me about it. I'll debate you real quick, because I'm curious what you're saying is disingenuous, because I feel like a lot of people use that word. I see a lot of people use that word online. When they're saying like, oh, you're being disingenuous with your points. And it's not necessarily that they're being disingenuous. It's more so sometimes they're just wrong, or they made a mistake. Or that's just not what the word means. Or sometimes people use that as like a shield, like, oh, I disagree with you and you're being disingenuous. Like, they just say that like that's a defense against what someone's saying. So in what way is he being dishonest about the controversy for the new God of War? While you pull that up, because I'm curious what you say, what are your thoughts on PlayStation discontinuing physical copies by 2028? I'm not surprised, but I don't like it. That's my in the quick thoughts. I think it's, from a business perspective, it makes a lot of sense. You don't have to distribute this thing. You don't have to make a physical copy of the software. Already, discs don't even have the full game on them anymore as it is. They, like, logically and in a business sense, it makes complete sense that they're getting rid of the physical copies. From a more emotional and consumer side, I don't like that the option is being taken away. For starters, I think it's kind of sucks that the option is being taken away from people who like physical copies. Second, it's very concerning because we've seen so many companies, specifically game companies, be like, we're making this game or this thing, and if we want to, we can just take it off. We can shut down your system if you're not playing it the way we like, or And then if the store gets shut down, which eventually it will, it has to eventually get shut down. They can't keep the store running forever for like 100 to 500 people who are using it every 6 months. That's just, you're just losing money, and it's a waste of resources at that time. You won't be able to get it if you didn't have it saved somewhere in another area. So it's worrying about the potential negatives that could come out of it. That be like, I don't like it. And if there weren't the concerns of like, oh, they're gonna like brick your system or take the game from you because they have access and you don't, and they can do that because it's online, it's all digital now. If that wasn't a concern, I wouldn't be worried, right? Like if there was like some consumer protection laws, or we knew that companies wouldn't do that because everybody would boycott them. If it was one of those two options, then them taking away the physical copies just sucks. Like it just sucks emotionally. If that were the case, it would just suck emotionally. And I wouldn't be that concerned about it. But because we know that companies do want to take them away from us when we don't do things the way we want. Look at Nintendo, what they did with the Switch 2 with bricking people's systems. Since we know that's a problem, I'm concerned more about that. It's less the fact that they are no longer making physical copies, and more so the worry about what they are going to do when it is only digital. And the fact that they are going only digital, everybody else has the option to go only digital. Because again, there's a lot of logical reasons for them to go only digital. Honestly, it's a waste of materials to have physical stuff nowadays when everything can be digital. Like all those discs that there are people who do collect games and keep them forever. But there are a lot of people, you got to admit, that throw their games away, or they sell them to a third party, or they get lost, right? And so that is a lot of like materials that just become trash, right? And then there's also the, like I said, the fact that discs can't hold all the data that games have these days. Like games that have like tens to hundreds of gigabytes on them. And a disc, a CD, even a Blu-ray can only hold something like what is the maximum? What is the maximum amount of data a Blu-ray disc can hold? It's like 128 gigabytes, right? So a Blu-ray disc can only have that much. And a lot of games now, a lot of AAA games are starting to breach that 150, 200 gigabyte threshold. And they're only going to get bigger as time goes on. They're not going to, like, games are not going to get smaller. Let's be honest. They're only going to get bigger. And the gigabyte load is going to get bigger and bigger. And so the physicality of discs is becoming more obsolete just as a system. It's like going from cassette tapes to CDs. This is going CDs to digital. And that's why on PlayStation and everything else, it downloads onto the system. That's why your system needs so much storage now, because they're downloading the full game, because the disc cannot hold the full game on it. So the logical reasons they're getting rid of it, I'm okay with. Emotionally, it sucks. And then on another logical stance, I am very worried where this is going to take us with the way that some companies act very greedily. I mean, just look at how Ubisoft was with they basically said digital isn't ownership, which was insane to say. And so that I'm worried about. They don't, wait. They don't make games so needlessly big. What do you mean they don't make games so needlessly? Like, okay, how many gigs is GTA 5? Okay, so, then don't. Well, you can't say don't make them so needlessly big, because they're not. What defines the need for size, right? You can't objectively measure how big a game is supposed to be. There's no objective measurement. And like tell me how big a game is supposed to be. What is every game should be how many gigabytes? You can't do that, because there's so many different types of games out there. Some games are less than 50 gigs and people love them. Some are going to be 100. If it can't fit on a CD, then it is needlessly big. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous, though. That is unfair because there are so many games out there that people love. They love playing them, and they are huge games. Like Grand Theft Auto 5, people love playing that game. Okay, the base game is 105 gigabytes. With everything else afterwards, it's 125 gigabytes. So that's 125 gigabytes right there. That's already almost breaching the threshold with just one game. And the next one's going to be bigger than that because people want it to be bigger than that. So you can't really say that makes it needless because there is a need for it. People want bigger games. That's the need. GTA 5 did had a CD. I haven't. Yes, it did have a CD. And like I said, it barely fits that 125 gigabyte threshold or 128 gigabyte threshold. It's up to 125. It's already almost breaching it. If you have a game that's just slightly bigger by 4 gigabytes of space, okay? Do you know how much 4 gigabytes of space is? That's one high quality picture. That's maybe like 1 minute of high quality video. Maybe 5 to 10. So if they just had 10 more minutes of gameplay in there, it would be too big for a disc. You can make bigger CDs. No, you cannot make bigger CDs. You cannot make bigger CDs. There's a size you can make, and if you make bigger CDs, then you have to make bigger devices that can read the CDs, and those don't exist. Now, however, they could change to SSD drives or cards like they do for Nintendo, and those can hold more data than a disc does. But again, that would mean they'd have to make a new system that reads those. Current size. So, yes, you could, but then you're adding more layers of technology that need to be made, and then the consoles have to be more expensive because the technology to read those discs needs to be bigger, and it needs to be able to read more information at once. I mean, you can be the owner with digital if we just need to make more rules around that. So I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about because it's digital. Like, look at Steam. They don't take away your ownership of your game when they take it off the website. If you download it onto a third-party storage, you still own it. It just takes more levels of ownership. Gaming's $1 billion industry. They have enough to develop better data carriers. You're right. We should. They do. They should swap to chip-based instead of disk-based reading, because like a 2 terabyte SSD drive is a chip that's like that big. I'm not even kidding. It's a chip that's big. I have one in my computer right now, and we could put games on on SSD drives. And they do have the money for that. That's not a question. The question is, does the cost of that make them more money? And the answer is no. It's not. We know it's not, because if it were just a matter of making games easier to purchase or acquire, digital already beats physical in that regard 100%. And there are millions of people who prefer digital. There really are. The people who prefer physical is actually very niche. We sound loud because a lot of us are online, but most people prefer the digital experience. So there's that first part. And the second part is what really makes money in games. There's only 2 things that make money. Well, 3 technically, but I'll say 2. One is the actual purchasing of the games and the consoles that they run on. And 2 is microtransactions. And then the third one is merchandise, but merchandise can apply to anything, so that's really not niche to games. And what makes the most money out of those? Is it console sales? Yeah, kind of, for the big players like Sony and Nintendo, yes, but that's because Nintendo has a controlled ecosystem, so you have to buy them. And then for Sony, it's because there are a lot of Sony fanboys who really like consoles, and there's still some exclusives or games that are exclusive for a year. The one that really makes money, and we know this for a fact, is microtransactions. Microtransactions is the reason why gaming is $1 billion industry now. It was not $1 billion industry before microtransactions. It was $1 million industry. They made a lot of money, but it was not $1 billion industry. The only game company that was in the billions was technically Nintendo. It's not Nintendo directly. And that's only because of their connection to Pokemon. And Pokemon is just connected to everything else in entertainment. So it's a huge outlier. So they fuck with us due to greed. That's a problem. I mean, I agree, but what do you mean? I'm confused. Personally, I don't mind the loss of physical copies, but I know people who like to collect it. Yeah, exactly. That's how. Like, personally, I don't mind the loss of. I'm with you on that. Personally, I don't mind the loss of physical copies. I'm more worried about what they're going to do with the taking physical when they get rid of physical copies and we are forced into their, oh, it's digital and, you know, if we want to, we can take it away from you. That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about that aspect of it. I'm not worried about the, oh, there's no more physical. I'm worried about the aspect of they're going to take it away. Now, there's no guarantee they will. Steam has been around for decades. Steam does not take games away from people. They will take games off of the store page, which is totally fine to do. I mean, Pokemon Red has not been sold by Nintendo in physical copies for over 20 years, so no one's getting mad about that. And if you download it onto your system and it's on your system, they can't take the system away, thankfully. And they can't currently, they can't go into your system and delete the stuff that's in there or brick you. That's what we need to protect against. It's not the loss of physical, it's the protection from control. Because it's not even greed, it's control. Because they don't make any money by bricking your system. Really, I mean, unless you're trying to, you know, emulate it. In that case, they are kind of keeping themselves from losing money, which is a form of making money. But with if they're just bricking it because they don't like the way you play it, they're not making money or protecting themselves from loss of money. They're just controlling you at that point. It's more about control and less about greed. This reminds me of the time I went to the grocery store and started doing PG-13 things to jars of mayonnaise, the good old days. What the heck were you doing to mayonnaise? Were you using it as an instrument? What am I doing? I'm going to play some Deadlock, but we're talking about the games going all physical. My only question is what's going to happen to collector's editions. It'll be the same as it was. Collector's editions don't even have the discs in them anymore, so that's not even a change. Like the collector's edition for Horizon Forbidden West and the collection edition for God of War Ragnarok. I know those are two examples that for sure they were collector's editions and had no disc. They're just going to have extra cool merch stuff and a cool box that it comes with. It is now, so they have no excuse for not making better data carriers. I yapped a lot, so can you, what is, they can't take away many games requiring internet connection to play, even single player games. Look at what happened to the crew. I didn't follow about what happened to the crew directly, and there are games that require an internet connection to play, but most single player games do not require an internet connection to play. We know that for a fact. And we know that for a fact on PlayStation, that's true. So I'm not saying that they can't, I'm saying that they haven't yet. What did happen to the crew? What was... What was the TLDR on that again? What was... the crew was a multiplayer... Wait. What was the crew? Was the crew a multiplayer game? Okay, well that's not the same thing. That is, you cannot. You're conflating the crew with single player games. The crew was not a single player game. It was a multiplayer game, and they shut the servers down. That has happened to multiple games throughout the years, and it's not that surprising, and it's expected. Eventually, like they have to spend money to keep those servers running. So you can't. You're conflating those issues. Okay, but it wasn't. The core of the game was not a single player. The core of the game was multiplayer. Like that was the multiplayer was the focus of the game, and if the game required an online connection as they wanted it to, then you kind of signed up for that. Knowing if you went in knowing it was made to be a multiplayer game, you were signing up for the agreement that that if the servers are shut down, you cannot play this game in its entirety. It still sucks, but that was kind of the way that they had it going. They will. That's what they're pushing for. That's where some are pushing for. That's sure. And I agree. We need, again, this is why I say we need protections to stop that from happening. The question is, what protections? I don't know. I'm not a lawmaker. I would like to look into it more. You could still keep the single player mode on. You don't need that in your next. I mean, I don't know how the code was. I'm going to assume you probably could have kept it up, and that is a sucky instance. But that's also one instance of one game that was made as a multiplayer with single player functions that was taken away from people, and that does suck. But one instance of something is not a consistent issue. Again, I still think it is an issue. It's just saying that, this happened to the crew. Let's be worried, but let's not get mad till something actually starts happening. Seeing the server shutting down, I understand why PS3 and PS Vita PSN is shutting down. You do understand or you don't understand? Because if you do, yeah, I mean, it's obvious. It's pretty obvious why. And I'm assuming you do. I guess I'm just confused why you were letting me know that you understand. Because I assumed you would know, because I assume everybody here in this chat is at least old enough and intelligent enough to understand, like, oh, they can't run this shit forever because it costs them money. And, after a while, the amount of money you're spending is not equal to the amount of money you're getting. Hello, Tyler. How are you doing? I'm from Iran. I am from the US of A. America. And in 3 days, it'll be America's 250th birthday. Yeah, again, I agree. I agree overall. I think we agree, Baron. I think you're just a little bit more heated about than I am, and that's fine for you to be heated. It's fine for you to be upset about it and have your opinions. I do worry that they will do what they did to the crew again. I don't think they will, but I have that worry. That's my main point. There's a game called Battleborn. It was an online game that also had a single one. Shut 10 years ago, however, modders were able to. You're right. If modders can do it, so can companies, but they shouldn't be required to. Also. Like let me put it this way. If you make a movie and people don't like the ending, does that mean people are but someone else can remake the movie and redo the ending? Does that mean you're required to change the ending of a movie every time a certain amount of people don't like it? No, you're not. And these games, especially the multiplayer ones, they aren't made for them to be used as single player. Now, morally, should they do it? Probably. Do I think they should be forced to? No. Good, my friend. And how are you? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. We're about to play some Deadlock, but we're just talking about the new issue. If you haven't heard about it, my fellow gamers, about how they got rid of Sony has announced that they will no longer be doing physical copies of games for PlayStation anymore. And I'm saying I'm not surprised. It makes a lot of logical sense in technology and things like that. Um, we're just more worried about how they're going to, what they're going to do after that is implemented. And so it's really not fair. So we're just discussing that. But it kind of is the same because the movies are made by companies. The games are made by companies. They have a certain vision and a certain way they want the product to be put out into the world, and you pay for it, and then they can take it away from you. Disney did this for years. Disney literally did this for decades, where they would only sell their VHS and DVDs of certain movies for a limited time. And now they don't even have to do that. They have it on Disney Plus. If they want to take it off Disney Plus, they can do that at any time. Yes, there are previous physical copies that existed back in the day that you can still watch. But if you were, let's say you were born 2025 and your parents never liked Disney movies, and sometime around 15 you got into Disney, and so you started watching all the Disney stuff, and and then your favorite movie was, let's say, Tangled, and then for some reason people said, oh, they made her blonde, and that's, I don't know, blonde people are demons in this one religion, in Pastafarianism. I don't know if that's true, but let's just say that. Oh, my cat is such a whiner day. Let's say they made blondes a demon, and it's like, oh well, we gotta get rid of Tangled, and they took it off, and now you don't have a way to watch it because you don't own any of the DVDs or VHSs, right? It would be the same thing if it was a game that was online. Trump really is favorite president in your country. I mean, there are parts of that sentence that are true. Trump is currently president in my country, yes. Is he my favorite president? No. I don't really talk about politics too much here, except for if it comes to video games and entertainment. I mean, he is president, and it is my country. I'm. That's it. I'm just saying it. It is going to be the 250th birthday of my country in 4 days. That's just a fact. Even whether I love or hate that idea, it is a fact. Just like I have 2 hands, that is a fact. I wish I had 3. Hello, Dark Noah. Changing the ending of a movie and reviving a dead game aren't the same. It's more akin to bringing back a lost movie. Okay, fine. Like I said, if let's say all the copies of the old versions of the movies disappeared, Disney isn't obligated to remake more VHSs and DVDs of movies that you want to see again. GTA 6 stuff is ridiculous. Yeah, it's going to be what they say, it's an $80 game and then $100 for the special edition, which of course it is. Now the industry standard is going to be $80, which sucks. And the standard is also going to be no longer physical games, which also sucks. So, AAA gaming is about to get real rough, which is why I'm loving indie. When it comes to mods, I feel like they're so good. I feel like game companies should hire them and help design. Oh, I agree with you. Logically, it would be great if they hired a lot of these modders to help design DLC or improve the games or bring back the single player. That would be the logical thing. But those sections don't help them in their core. What do you want? What's the word I'm looking for? Their core desire. Their desire is to make money. Let's be honest. We know this. The gaming companies, the AAA companies, have been greedy for a long time. This is going to sound weird to say, but I mean this literally. The least greedy of the AAA companies for gaming, I would say, is Nintendo. They are the most controlling, but they are not. I'd still say they're the least greedy. I'm not saying they're not greedy. I'm just saying they're the least greedy. So if you have one guy who's stabbed 50 people and another guy who stabbed 51 people, one guy murdered more people. They both murdered people, and it's both bad. That's what I'm saying about Nintendo. They're the least greedy, and they're still pretty greedy. Talking about making more VHS. Talking about that's when okay, cool. It's good that they did that. What is your point about them doing that? Okay, just because a modder does something doesn't mean a company has to do the same thing. If there are modders who make versions of Kratos where he's a walking dildo for the whole game, and a bunch of people really like that, does that mean every version of Kratos in the game has to be a walking dildo from now on? If the answer is no, then what the modders did doesn't really apply to what the companies have to or should be doing. What do you... Okay, my cat is meowing. I love War Thunder, but my ability... Oh, your laptop doesn't? Yeah, that's true. That sucks. I remember back in the day when I had a really shitty laptop back in like 2012 all the way to 2015. I saved up to get a much better computer. But my laptop back in the day, I tried to play League of Legends and it would lag so bad. It was so rough. Like it would like I would try and shoot like the spells and they would be off by like a whole section. It was so annoying. I'm that sucked back in the day. I feel you, man. How do I pronounce your name, by the way? Because I can't read your language, and I don't want to assume which language it is. Or maybe you just copied a cool font. Because I don't want to just call you friend from Iran. That sounds weird and a little rude, I guess is the word I want to use. Condom of war sounds funny as hell. That does sound funny, though. It's my 84th birthday. Oh, congratulations. How is it being 84? My parents are getting close to that age. Kitty. Do you guys want to see my kitty? Yeah, okay. Again, that's good for them, Baron. It's really good that they did that. Please. Is that if that's all you have to say? I agree with you. It's a great thing that those modders did that, and I'm happy they did that. Okay, I'm gonna get my kitty, and then also I was trying to open this root beer, and where's the top? I had it here. The pull top for it snapped off. This keeps happening with these Boonda beers. But you can see it was supposed to go here, and it snapped off. I don't know if you can see where it snapped quite so well. It's like right here. Okay, I will show you, kitty. Hola, hola, Alpha. How are you? Okay, kitty. Oh, come here, milkshake. Oh my god. This is Milkshake. She is a little squirmer. Look at her. Look at her squirm. No, this is your tax. This is your pet tax for meowing outside my door. If you want to come in here, you got to get the pet tax. Oh, such a sweet girl. I love you too. I'm glad I got that on camera, kitty. Thank you. So it might look like she's trying to get away, but she is purring, just being held. She is such a little floof baby. She just wants attention. It's because, so we're getting our apartment has been getting painted and the windows got replaced, if you didn't know. And they're finishing painting the front doors, and we have to leave the front doors open for them to paint them. And we are afraid of the cats running out because it's the only door we have. And I can't keep them locked in here because they would start knocking stuff over and it would be too anxious. So we had to have them locked in the front room for like the last 8 hours. But now she's free and she wants attention. She's got her little bow because she's a milkshake. She's a floofberry milkshake. Oh, oh. She is the most cuddly kitty ever, by the way. Every morning and every night, she has to cuddle my wife. Like, she literally goes right up to her and just plops down right next to her. Even if Claire's like, no, I can't right now. She's like, nope, I'm sitting here. Okay. You can't go, Milk. She wants to run around. I don't want her running around my office right now. And she really wants to. Because I know she's going to, like, start attacking things or chewing things. Here, how's this? You can sit down if you stay inside the cactus. I have a cactus-shaped bed for her. Nope. Try that cat. Fine. Yeah, her name is Milkshake because if you saw, she's black and white, and every person always names their black and white cat Oreo. Every person. It is the most common name for a black and white cat, I want to say. Nope, she's going. And so my first thought is, I do not want to name her Oreo. Everybody's going to call her Oreo. And my brain was like, Oreo, Milkshake. We're going to call her Milkshake. So we call her Milkshake, and she's our little milky kitty. Hello, teacuppy. Kitty of war, Milkshake. Milkshake, tofu, and I can't remember the third one's name. It's sushi. Milkshake, sushi, and goblin. You were close. It is an Asian dish, but not tofu. Tofu is Chinese. She is sushi, which is Japanese. That combination, I mean, if that's your point, Baron, I just disagree. I just fundamentally disagree. I don't think they should be forced to keep it alive. Drusilla, my sister cat who I took in, is obsessed with chicken and physically fights me for it when I have it. That is hilarious. Because it's in their right not to. That's why. If they don't want to, they don't have to. It's not because it's not the same thing as you buying and downloading a game on your system and it being a game that you it being a game. It's a whole server system that they set up that they have to keep running. And, you know, the more you like, especially since most of those online games, you don't pay for them. Like, you don't pay for Overwatch 2. You don't pay for, I have Deadlock. I'm going to play Deadlock. I don't pay for Deadlock. You don't play for Valorant. You don't play for League of Legends. You don't play for Dota 2. You shouldn't have to, they shouldn't have to keep it up because you don't pay for those ones. What was the store you bought your PC from comes to your house? That's not the same thing. It's 100% not the same thing. That is not the same, and you know it's not. Okay, this is a digital product that they have. The store doesn't have to constantly keep my PC running for me. Like if something breaks, they don't have to come in and repair it. Whereas if in the crew, if the servers break, they have to repair those servers. They have to constantly upkeep and repair them. How long does it normally take for you to edit Andrew's 40-minute inaccuracy videos? It kind of depends on a lot of issues, mostly for me. 2 to 3 weeks is generally how much I give, the time I give. No, you paid for it, but you also made a contract that that you do not own it while it is a server-based game. Cause it's like having a subscription. You stop paying for it, you don't own it anymore. And if the company goes under, who's gonna have to? Like, if the company owning the crew, right? If they went under, and they could not physically keep it up anymore, who are you gonna get mad at then? Who's gonna fix it? No one. No one owes you the right because they don't exist anymore. Yes, you're right. The modders were able to. And it's good that they did. But a company should not be required to, if that was not the mission statement that the developers wanted to do and the company wanted to do. It's that simple. Sorry. It sucks, but that's how I feel. I feel like, you know, if you have the right to be upset about it, they have the right to not want to do it. I'm going to move on from this, and we're going to play Deadlock. I just realized my computer is not picking it up. Maybe it's just taking a minute. Go. On the screen. Habra babra. Yubidibida. There we go. All right, I do want to get my root beer open. I wonder, can I open it from here? I usually have to get a knife to open it if it breaks like this. Okay, yeah, I have to get a knife. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get a knife. So let's move on. Let's move back to the God of War thing. You said, Andrew, I didn't watch through Andrew's video, but I've seen a lot of people talk about it. I found out that my belief that Shaggyans could be bring vegetarian only was a Mandela effect. When did you thought that they were vegetarian only? I don't think they've ever been. Do you plan on playing Dino Crisis? Dino Crisis. No, I don't think I do plan on playing that because it's a 1999 game. Okay, Milk, we gotta get out of here. Milky, we're going. Come on. Ubisoft did go under. They got bought out. Hi, Sushi. Bye, Sushi. Ubisoft brought on themselves. Oh, I agree. I'm totally fine with Ubisoft's downfall. I'm not trying to protect Ubisoft here of all companies. Everyone who's been here for a while knows my feelings for Ubisoft. Look, I again think. So I don't. There's a big difference between a game that was made online only, and they had no plans to leave a offline single player being taken down and disappearing. You know going into it that it's not that the single player is gone if the multiplayer disappears, which is an inevitability. Every single multiplayer game disappears permanently eventually. Okay? World of Warcraft will eventually be gone. It will not last forever. There's a big difference between that happening and a company literally going into your game library and deleting it or blocking you from playing it while it is downloaded onto your system. And like a single player game like Kingdom Hearts, if you get it digitally and they go in and they block it, that is a much different problem than it being connected to online only and you knowing it's connected to online only, which means it disappears with the servers. You know that that's the case. Do I think that should be the case? I don't know. I haven't, maybe not. But that's not what I'm worried about. Back in the original cartoon, I could have sworn they were vegetarian. I think it's just that the way that the stuff looked and was drawn, it just kind of looked like a mush of stuff. The details weren't really there, and they didn't And they didn't. There was one color they rarely ever used in the original Scooby-Doo, and that's the color red. And most meat is colored red in cartoons, not in real life. In real life, most meats aren't colored red. But in cartoons, like if you think of a picture of a cartoon picture of a steak, you're going to think of a red piece of meat. If you think of a cartoon hamburger, it's either going to be red or it's going to be a dark brown, which could be anything. You know it's ground beef, but still. I used to love the online House of the Dragon game. School of Dragons, it's gone, but I have my memories. Yeah, that's how I feel about Evolve and so many other games. Being bought out and being shut down aren't the same thing. They essentially are. If you're at a place where your company is bought by another entity, your original company is dead. It doesn't exist in the same capacity anymore. Okay, that is the company equivalent of your parents paying your rent for you because you do not have the money to pay for your rent this month. I think Shaggy was briefly vegetarian. What's new, Scooby-Doo? Oh, maybe that's where you're getting it from. Ooh, maybe there was that. Okay. Okay, so we're Rem. So what's my plan?
Dude, I do not want to be in this fucking lane, man. I'm gonna be real. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Mirage, we've got this.
Yes, we do.
All right, chat. So we're against a 7. What's her name? Wraith. We have to play safe against their gun. We're gonna need. Fuck, what's it called? I have to look for it later. I fucked that up.
If you like that, I got some other stuff that fell off the truck.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get the jump first.
What a dick.
Was it Doorman?
No. I was mailing a minion and Victor tried to come up and parry me and he fucking whipped.
Well, he is undead, so. Yeah, this is why we need our jump early.
Let me go to camp here.
I see Ray.
Seven is kind of low.
I'm gonna try and take the camp. Okay, I took 2 of them at least.
Sounds good.
What is the iron thing of? I'm so sorry, I messed up your melee.
It's okay.
Thanks. Let's take out 7.
They do lots of things.
Nicely done.
Fucking shit.
That one minion gave me just enough to level up.
I have friends.
Well, someone's looking to make a statement.
Okay, now I can look at that item I was looking for, chat. Holy F. Like, do I have it in here? I know it just looks like I'm clicking random items, but I'm not. Where is it? It's disarming hex. That's right. Rusted barrel. That's the item I'm looking for. That'll help us deal with the. Okay, buff is up in 30 seconds.
Okay.
So get ready for those bridge buffs mid.
That was a good try.
I know he'll help me. I was close.
Seven's missing. There's the convict.
I'm defending this from. Oh. I'm taking it. I do not want McGinnis to have that.
Okay.
If you need more protection, you know where to find me.
Ready to travel.
We're friends. Come out. Ready to put them to sleep.
I like it.
Sinners in 1 minute.
You should try to take
you got
theirs
land.
with your minions.
Yeah, once it's up. I'm holding on to one.
Let's try to like keep this push so you can take it.
Nice.
They're great at shuffleboard.
You'll be the last one standing.
There's the convict.
Got him! I gotta back up. This fucking dork is probably gonna kill me if I.
Lifting.
Good job.
He went hella ham. Alright, back up from taking their sinners now.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Alright, took their sinners.
I like it.
like my pillow. They do lots of things.
Barry?
I'll be right back. Race is on the bridge.
Nice, good job.
I know you'll help me.
Victor's missing. He's been missing.
Yeah, he was
from
chasing
the-
me on the bridge.
Oh, okay. He's going
got
to
Urn
Urn
too
now.
now.
Yeah. Watch out, Green.
Thank you for the heads up.
I'll try to take it from it.
Lifting.
Sorry, Mirage. I was not in a position to help.
The doorman's missing.
Don't be a jerk. They help.
Victor's coming back to you.
What should I?
Yeah, Victor's going to back yellow.
The rift is gonna be on green.
I see 7.
I'm going back to you.
Yeah, they're both pretty low, but I couldn't finish him off with my abilities on cooldown now. Up. Thank you. Mermaid's missing now.
Yeah, I think he ran back. Yeah, he's on yellow.
Oh yeah. Let me see if I can try to take one of these camps.
Hey, but hey, that's
Good job.
Oh, Victor's coming back.
Yeah,
We can go
back
back and buy.
Hi, Sush. Okay, so we got this. I should have saved my minions, but it's fine.
Let's take out Shiv.
Nice.
I think we can just leave these guys.
My friend survived.
Let's see. I need Arcane Surge and Healing Booster would be nice. Then we'll move some other items around later. For now, let's clear our... Oh, wait, actually.
Still there's sinners here.
Lifting.
Swoosh, why do you keep jumping in my lap? What's going on? She keeps, you know, when you get spooked.
Let's take out shoot. Thank you.
Ah, it was close.
Let's take out shoot.
Oh, they have a lot here still. He's not good at using those stuns.
Okay.
Well, that happened.
Okay.
Coming yellow.
I'm helpful. You make me feel safe.
Yellow needs help.
You can... Ooh, take that health buff, enter. Yeah, baby.
Dramatic, stylish, I love it.
They help.
Watch out, Shiv.
Oh my god. Swoosh.
That's fun. They took out Mirage.
Mermaid's also yellow. I don't know if I could do both. Guard yellow and stop him from running Urn.
Don't worry too much about Urn. It's solo now.
Yeah, but I kind of need the Urn.
That's a good point.
They might be gone now. They might have rotated.
McGinnis is right here.
It only gets worse from
Not sure why she stayed for so long.
Let's take out Shiv. I see Shiv.
We go get blue.
Coming in.
I
Nice.
can get something really cool.
Good job. Will not be denied.
Oh, doorman in yellow.
Yeah, Yamada can go home.
I'm gonna go help too.
Our yellow walker is under attack.
Let's see if I can steal the sinners. Oh, someone's taking it.
Seven and Wraith mid.
You're not nice.
They really want that mid.
What's the plan?
I don't know the plan, dude. I already used my cooldown. Wraith is at like half health. when I beat her up.
Thank you.
Yeah, we don't need to push up too far and go too early. Yeah, Shiv and Wraith are pushing back.
Well then, that worked out really well for us. Good job, Yamato. Holy,
You wanna jump
you're
in?
nuts.
Yeah.
I know.
Nice. Alright, let's go clean up the lane.
There's Wraith.
They want to get this.
Let's push Greenwich. I see the doorman.
Come yellow.
Dorman is looking toward me.
I guess they're giving it to us for free.
Okay.
They do lots of things.
We're playing 4D chess, watch out.
Demolition time.
Okay, I'll take that.
Wraith on me. And Victor.
Oh no, I forgot that hits the walls.
And 7? I gotta back up, I'm low. I'm sorry.
We got you out. You're good.
Okay, what time is it? Oh, it's 20 minutes in. Maybe I'll save it for 30.
Nice.
Lamau.
Had a long shift at Target in the middle of a heat wave, but I'm here.
Go clean up
Hey,
the
I'm glad you're ready to
silence.
chill. As you go, I will debate about the new God of War when Andrew's here.
Okay.
Actually, yellow, because it looks like
I
a
actually
base.
gave them a free kill. That was Papega of me, chat. Who is the problem?
Headed to green.
Right now, the problem is me. I'm the problem.
Shift left, McGinnis is missing. Never mind, she's here.
I'm heading to green as well. I'm gonna have my special minions push it.
They are in Let's go Broadway.
Sounds
Headed
good.
to blue.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Headed to Broadway.
Nice, thank you, Venator.
They're taking blow.
They've destroyed our Blue Walker.
I'll take their sinners.
Coming vendor. Doorman is behind us. I think.
Let's take up
I'll come green, so you can jump the door.
7.
Yellow. The dormant.
We might just get the yellow walker out of neglect. Never mind, she's there.
Don't be a jerk.
Good job.
The sword of Saint Benedict cuts them down like wheat.
Let's push Greenwich.
Bro, I just love running with Aaron now. She just hunt everybody.
Chip's missing, he was yellow. Might be rotating for green. are you good?
I think they got the whole team over here.
Take me what I needed. Let's take out the doorman.
Enjoy our hospital. I'm with you, Rem.
I got you. You're good.
You're fine.
Thank you.
I see.
Go green, but I can't boost. We might lose that.
I think we might have lost
Not my
green.
TP, I'm sorry.
This doesn't feel very.
I was thinking we go to retribution kill.
It's rough.
Let's push Broadway.
Seven's missing. Headed to blue.
Nice pick.
You can probably keep pushing yellow. Maybe get the worker.
Sounds
Coming
good. Get shit.
blue. See if I can try with you guys.
Rem, I'm here. Come, turn around. If you need me.
Demolition time.
Oh, well. We got an ult out of that at least.
Lifting.
They're on me. They want me dead.
They're just jealous.
I see
I'm
the
playing
doorman.
Spyro, so if I'm having fun with it. I went to Magic Crafters and Spyro on. I don't remember what level that is, but it's a fun game. And it's one of the easiest games to 100%. For those who have been in the stream long enough, they remember when I 100%ed it pretty recently. The only time I needed help was in one level. I wasn't exactly sure how to get to one section. Everywhere else, I knew I was able to 100% it just playing the game. The old days of simple game design. At least our green is pushing in our favor.
I'll go grab Earn. We can run somebody down.
I want the lightning scroll. That's gonna be annoying. I can go grab it real quick. Start pushing yellow. I'm gonna come to you from green.
I'm in yellow.
You can kill Victor. He's got no ult.
I'm locked.
Let's get yellow.
Yeah, I think McGinnis is still nearby by that ship.
No, she ran away.
I don't like being alone.
You need to hurry.
Come out.
Well, it would seem I'm going for a run.
Oh, they're gonna send those super minions down.
I can TP to the rift thing. I'm pushing here.
I do not have Zoom, but I will join you.
They're great at shuffleboard.
The round was mid. Seven's here. I don't think anyone's fighting. You guys might be contested.
I don't know why they
Headed to
won't.
York.
Oh shit, I'm coming yellow.
Our yellow walker is under attack.
Oh, never mind, you guys got that.
We can use this to push mid.
Okay.
I have my lightning scroll, so that's gonna make my ult real annoying.
Please don't bolt in my shot.
That was close, Venator. We almost had him.
To be instrumental in their death, Vindicta.
Yeah, missed my stun. I would have stunned her accidentally launched her too far.
That's what always happens with the ladies, am I right?
You're
So far, the only places I've needed help were brain farts, like not doing a charge jump before gliding, or not seeing a key right in front of my nose. That always sucks when it's like right there, and you see, once you see it, you're like, how did I miss that? But, you know, at least you can, it feels fair when you make a mistake, right? I feel like current games don't feel as fair sometimes. Sometimes, but then maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just my old man brain hair shrivel. Can somebody go yellow? That's going to get pushed pretty hard. You know what I like about this game, chat, is people are so chill. Like, this is a game where I'd never feel scared to talk to people and be like, hey, can we do this? Hey, let's do this. Oh, careful here. And people will usually listen. Then again, we don't have the casuals. I mean, there are casuals. I'm a casuals. But
The Baroness is.
They were all on me under the pit.
Good job.
Good job.
Ah, fuck, he got my ass.
Don't play with
That's just too mad.
yeah, actually, 100%.
Victor's down.
Barrage continues to buy us
I think so. Let's do someone else.
I'm here.
The Rejuvenator is descending.
Nice.
Getting the rejuvenator. I know you'll help me.
Oh my god. What happened there? I'm going to the rift. Oh, it's not up yet. Never mind. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong side. Hupega.
I see someone appreciates fine craftsmanship.
I see the doorman.
Coming mid.
Just chilling here. Coming with super minions.
Dude, I need fucking speed items, man. I'm too fucking slow.
Let's take out the race.
Great low.
Good job.
Taking their sinners.
Thank
It's risky business, but someone's got to do it.
I like it.
Another movement speed buff. Don't mind if I do.
I see sheep.
What do I even want at this point, chat?
Coming on. I see 7.
Markon would be good.
The Hidden King's strength will be yours.
Headed to York. I see Victor.
Victor's low.
It's dangerous out here.
I'm gonna go help green push.
Your support will bring us victory. Now is not the time for
Good shit.
mercy.
They help.
Okay.
Focus on objective.
Cover mid to him.
Surrender.
You know, I don't think we're gonna win this one, guys.
You should go do our mid boss.
We should wait till Rift, guys. Get real.
Good one. Have a good one.
These guys.
GG.
Well,
Holy
that was never
frick, that was a good game. Let me see if my friends are on. I know one of my friends is a slep. I'm giving them all the... My team did so well. The Vindicta went ham. Look at that. Look at that. Holy. I did nothing. Most headshot kills? That's surprising. The most assists, of course. Most healing, of course. Most of my... Maybe Yamato would have most healing after... Or Abrams. That was a fun game. I'm finally winning again, guys. That was an Alchemist game. Dude, I am on such a huge... I was Emissary 3. Now I'm Ritualist 3. I was all the way up to Emissary 5 at one point. Okay, let's watch Andrew's video while we wait for... Because I'm curious what he said. How's the health? Stream health is good. Because I'm curious about Baron Brezik's point about it being what you call it. I have the wrong cams. Lol. Let's see, let's see, what did he say about the God of War Lao favorite drama? Okay, can you not start playing? Oh, never mind. We're in game. Game's ready. I'm glad Q-Time. Ooh, Graves game. Let's go. All right. So our plan is gonna be. Let's see who they have. They have a Ram, Apollo. Okay, this is gonna be rough. They have a lot of healing and a lot of gun. So we're gonna need an anti-heal pretty early.
To your mentors, admirable Graves. Use what she taught you to complete
your work.
The dead make for great sentries.
Not the best trade for us, but not the worst. Wait, how have we not gotten 8? There we go. Holy.
Boys.
Nice try, Drifter. I am the king of the drift. I want the sprint boost. The passive heal is much better. Although I do need the stam eventually.
My mentor has needs.
That's fine. I was low. I was bound to die eventually. I messed up, but I'm okay with it. It is funny how many green items I get for my build. Specifically me.
She needs that home.
Oh, give me some survivability.
Pocket, I wasn't in there. You got it.
Yeah, I got a little motion.
Got a lot of motion.
You wanna fight me?
This is coming together well, isn't it? Hit anyone who gets close.
I see the enemy.
Look who's ready for a 2 a.m. metric.
Death is coming.
We're already winning this lane.
Cross the line if you dare.
I think I'm gonna reset real quick.
We almost got him.
Two steps ahead of death, my friend.
Might need that here early. Nah, I need this. I need some damage.
They destroyed the Guardian on yellow.
Ooh, that's rough. Okay. Every time I alt tab into the stream, the drifter is parrying nothing. To be fair, I'm baiting him.
Got some friends who would love to survive.
See how easy it is.
Okay.
Pocket, you acting a little cute right now. You have chill out.
I'm taking the buff.
Stay away from me.
Bought that off the think about it.
If they get close, kill them.
That probably wasn't the best idea, but I don't want to risk them getting it, so. I wish it told you what the gun buff does when you mouse over it, so I could check. We got the rat in mid. I'm coming, brother. Dude, this is such a bloody lane. I'm hella behind in souls because of it.
Where did her go?
We got 4 of them in mid. So push those lanes. What items does he have? No, he's going full spirit. I mean, it works. It's just holy. No damage. And the rat's been taking our centers.
Stay away from me.
We actually would have won this lane if the rat didn't come in at that one point.
Looks like you're not the best at everything after all.
Maybe I shouldn't have done that, but
Don't come begging for mercy.
oh, I need extra charge. Papega. I was like, why do I feel like I'm freaking?
What I just witnessed.
I can't be afraid.
Hey, don't talk about it.
Was it called Bruno?
Big mistake.
Shit, Graves.
Your little streak's over, buddy.
He doesn't have it. I was able to do that because he just barely doesn't have it leveled up enough.
They destroyed the Guardian on green.
Cross the line if you dare.
I'm on the way, Wraith. Never mind.
Channeling the dead.
Our yellow walker is under attack.
Maybe time to buy a relic.
Gonna come help defend green.
Slow them down. If they get close, kill them. Thanks for the help.
We went to ham. Okay, I'm gonna sell my restorative shot now that I have bullet life steal. And I need rapid recharge because skulls is so much worse. Not worse. It's just nerfed. So it's sucky wuckies a little bit. Dino, I'm just taking the centers here.
Some friends would love to say that. I am the Reaper's handmaiden.
Well, we got it low. Dino, can you go defend blue, please? I'm gonna go yellow when I get up.
York is under attack.
Dino, please go blue.
Hit anyone who gets close. I think I may be in over my head. I'll take all the help I can get. Animating defenses.
Let's back off, Wraith.
Sentries up. The dead demand justice. Playing around.
Nice.
Great job. They took out Beaver.
Pocket push green so that way we can get a walker. Thank you very much. I need that toxic bullets. I need improvement in my gun. I also need some spirit though. I have no spirit damage. Oh, excuse me.
Good luck completing the ritual.
Broadway is under attack.
Coming blue. Let's defend it. Well, that worked out.
Cut them down, Shiv.
I see Ren.
The dead's wrath will be felt. Shouldn't have gotten in our way. Slow them down. The dains will protect us. Light 'em up.
Let's get Drifter. Someone take their sinners while we're here. It's gonna be like, what, 10 seconds for the rift thing to show up? You guys hold that, I'm gonna go defend. Nah, he left as soon as he saw me. Yummy sinners. Yes, I love the sinners. I'm coming, Bebop.
The dead will surround them.
Let's get out of here.
Thank you, Graves.
You are welcome, my roboty friend. We have to defend all the lanes, guys. You get blue, I'll go defend yellow. I just need to buy really quick.
Here's your chance to shape your destiny.
Singularity's almost ready.
We're not doing bad. We're a little behind. He's nearby.
Never mind, I'm going blue.
He's low. You should be able to get him. You still have rope. No, back up. With an Abrams there, they're just gonna stun the shit out of you.
I don't want to feel that big blue man, rookie.
There's an echo, just letting you. There is? Oh. Oh, that's because. What? Why did this turn on? What do I even want to get right now? Silence would work really well on Drifter. Coming mid. Can we get mid off of this?
Absolutely, we can. Let's go.
Headed to Broadway.
The rejuvenator is descending.
Dude, we took that so fast.
I know a theater kid when I see one.
Headed to York.
Dynamo. Never mind. Abrams took the spirit buff.
Soldiers here.
Death is coming. I'm not playing around.
Lead them out.
Thank you, Dynamo.
I didn't mean to grab you, pocket. Sorry.
We might be able to get both walkers.
I'm gonna run over to yellow.
Yeah, let's go get that rift. I think they're giving it to us. Good job, Wraith, holding back.
Fear me.
It is necessary.
Oh man, I got too greedy.
I see Drifter. Headed to green. Headed to blue. Headed to Greenwich.
Try to keep up.
Headed to Greenwich.
That's not what I meant to do. I was trying to tell him to be careful, but that's fine.
Under attack.
You got the message. He's taking our farm.
I want this yellow walker, and I'm gonna keep going until I
Yep,
get it.
me too.
Slow them down. I will strike them down. The bones will protect us.
Hey, well, that would be good. Okay.
Drifter behind us. You know, 100% worth it. We killed the drifter. And I guess we got the walker. I guess that's nice too. But killing the drifter is what matters.
I wanted that walker, but drifter was great.
Finished JJK season 1 of the anime. Oh, you just finished it? What'd you think? My best friendo. Animation-wise, JJK has some of the most peak animation I've ever seen. Story-wise, it's fine. Holy Shiv brother needs help.
Singularity's on cooldown.
Oh, nope, he's dead. Oh my god. Holy Shiv, you're insane. You're a menace. Holy hell, that was crazy, brother. I'm gonna push up their green because of that. We should push. They have 3 down, 2 down.
The dead will surround them.
You just chat out and meet them then.
Don't think so. I'm not gonna be one of your victims, Victor.
Bye-bye. Oh my god. I can't believe I got away with that.
The rejuvenator is descending.
That should be a crime. Dude, you guys are insane. I love it. That was probably the best parry of my life on the drifter. We're coming, Shiv.
Necromancy supplies aren't cheap. I can't let you get in my way.
That was one we can kill him.
Shiv. I am the Reaper's handmaiden.
Not bad, Chip.
Need to go back to defend base.
Our blue walker is under attack.
I'm good at group projects.
Someone go back to get that rift.
And the Hidden King thanks.
I will do it. Never mind.
Stay away from me.
Strengthen you.
The bones are dead. Cross the line if you dare.
Wait, is this actually GG?
High school must be weirder than I remember.
Kill the Archmother and her disciples.
will be felt. Cracking skulls.
Holy, well done, you guys. You guys are the best. I love the animation, enjoyed the characters. Dude, that was one of my best games ever, not gonna lie. The parry on the drifter, I'm gonna be living with that for like years.
Professionals get it done.
What'd you just... Holy shiv nuts. That drifter was doing well, but that one parry, it only takes one parry. Oh my heavens word. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Rift Croucher. When I took the risk and just watched 5 of them take the Guardian, only them. They're very good for pushing. Yeah, that's more or less how it is. When are people alive? It's already 6:30. You gonna tell stories to your grandchildren of this day? No, I'm already writing it down in my journal. Already prepping it, chat. All right, I'm gonna see what Andrew said in that one video so I can see what the points that they want to refute are. Okay, let's see. Let's hear what Andrew had to say about it. I'm pretty sure. I think I already know, but.
Really, guys? Really?
What is this? What are we doing? What in God's name are we doing?
When God of War Lao Fei was announced, there was certainly a mixture of reactions. Some people were excited for it, some people were not interested, and some people were weird about it.
Yeah, these comments, you can't say it's a cherry-picked comment because you're seeing it in a lot of places. A lot of people are saying it. It's not just 1 or 2 people. It's like 5 or 10 YouTubers. And when so many YouTubers are saying it, it's kind of a problem. So, I agree with this point. Video is a shittery strong on it. What? What?
Like, really weird about it.
Fraud of boar is... Yeah, that's weird.
Like, bruh. Honestly, this whole controversy has gotten so out of hand and ridiculous to the point that I just kind of wanted to make a video getting my full thoughts on it out there, because there's a lot that I feel like is being misrepresented, and I think I can add some context to some things. But first, there are 2 things I really want to make clear. 1, I am not saying you have to love this game and there's nothing to criticize about it.
Yeah, that's
fair. A lot
fair.
of people don't like the talking cube. I get that. A lot of people just aren't interested in a game where they don't play as Kratos. I get that too. Spin-offs aren't for everybody, but that definitely doesn't mean that they just shouldn't exist at all. You are under no obligation to play a game that doesn't interest you. And it doesn't mean you're not a God of War fan if you don't. I'm a Star Wars fan. I still didn't watch The Acolyte.
Here's my sush.
No, thank you. And 2, I actually agree that there are times where a creator lets their weird politics completely ruin their product. I draw the line somewhere too, guys. Remember this video? I just really disagree that this game is an example of that. And I'm really tired of people acting like something's political when it so clearly isn't. Not sure if you know this, but people were calling God of War Ragnarok woke when that game released, and I still don't know why. And Pragmata? My god, the things people were saying about that was some of the most out-of-nowhere insanity I've ever seen. See, this is why I don't use was some of the most out-of-nowhere
Oh, I know why there's echo. Okay, I can fix it. Where is it? It's because it's a setting I have set up. It's my mistake. And then design. What? That's so stupid. It's breach of ethics at this point to design child characters for an audience of majority male gamers. What is it? What? How is it what ethics? Okay, first of all, breach of ethics applies to a committee that you have made and everybody agrees is part of the ethics. Like the ethics committee for lawyers, or the ethics committee for doctors, right? There are certain guidelines that they know they are supposed to follow. Okay? Like if you are a doctor, you are supposed to help your patient. If you are a lawyer, you are supposed to help your client, regardless of if you think they're guilty or not, regardless of if that patient is a good person or not. You are meant to always assist them, right? That's the most basic level of the ethics behind it. How is this a breach of ethics to define a child character for male gamers? Like, that doesn't make any sense. One, some people want to remember what it was like to be a kid. Some people like being around kids, like teachers and daycare workers who are not creeps. You know, some people want to be like a cool aunt or uncle, or they want to live being a parent. I hate the anti-pragmata people. The anti-pragmata people are just the worst. They're so selfish and self-centered, and they think that their worldview is the only correct worldview, and anybody who doesn't agree is a monster. It's so weird. Anyways,
insanity I've ever seen. See, this is why I don't use Twitter or Reddit. Anyway, when the game was announced, it seemed like a lot of the initial anger was based around this idea that because they've shown Lao Fei now, it means there's no more Kratos. Lao Fei is replacing Kratos, you'll never see him again, it's all just his wife moving forward, like it or not. Kind of a weird conclusion to jump to, but I can't even fully blame people for thinking that, because unfortunately, gaming journalism is a freaking joke, and a lot of news articles created lying
so here's the thing. This isn't really a lie. They're just creating a headline that'll grab as many people as possible. Grab the people who don't like Kratos and get them in. It'll grab the people who do love Kratos and get them to read it. So this isn't really a lying title, it's a clickbait title. Clickbait is not the same thing as lying. Andrew is from the older generation where remembers the older generation of clickbait where it would show like a picture of someone getting $1 million in something, and then it's just a video of them making pasta or something. What actual was bad clickbait back in the day, where the video would say it's one thing and then it's another. This is like it's good clickbait in the sense that it's like what it's saying is technically true, but it can be easily construed in a incorrect way. So it's not a lie by any correct standard, but it gets you to believe that it might be a lie. It gets you to think that they're talking about a lie. This is one of those things where the article is there to get you to click on it, so you have to read the article to see what they're actually saying.
Headlines promoting that exact idea.
It is rage bait, though.
Is
that
your
is true.
reputation not bad
Why does this
enough?
keep turning on?
How deep does the hole need to be? Do you need a shovel? Now, if this were actually true, I would understand the anger. In fact, I might even be part of it. I love Kratos. I don't want him retired. But we know for a fact it is not true. Because right after the announcement, Cory Barlog put out a statement saying, "We'll always tell stories about Kratos." So for us, it's not a departure. It's more of an expansion. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly how I figured it was when they announced this thing. Spin-off.
Yeah, and Now, I'm obviously in the minority of the opinions for this, but I actually do want them to retire Kratos, not because I don't like Kratos, but I don't want them to go down the rabbit hole of comics where they just keep a character, they keep doing stories of the same character forever and ever and ever, and they never move on to new characters, or the series just dies. Another example of this is The Simpsons. The Simpsons, everybody agrees, has gone on way too long. There's nothing new for them to do with those characters. Just move on to a new series, but they won't. And so while I am in the minority of opinions for wanting them to get rid, I do not get rid of, but I do want them to move on from Kratos eventually. That doesn't mean that at the same time I want them to forget about Kratos. I wanted the next game to be about Atreus. So it being about his mom, I'm fine with. Plus, the idea they're going with is really interesting. And yes, you could have explored with Kratos, but having him die again is so boring. Not a fan.
Buffs are a thing, guys. Sometimes they're amazing, but what's great is even if they suck, you can just kind of ignore them and pretend they don't exist. I've been playing God of War since I was a teenager, and I'm totally down for more spin-offs. I'm down for an Atreus game, and I would absolutely love a Deimos game. Like, that would be the dream. And again,
I honestly, I 100% disagree. I don't know why we would need a Deimos game. Deimos was not important until they created him in a side story. Like, he wasn't in the first, he wasn't mentioned in the first game at all. He wasn't, I don't know if he was mentioned in the second game. I have to remember which one came out first. And so he's really only important in 2 side games. Outside, and yes, they're important to his backstory, but those were retconned in, let's be honest. There's no way they were planning originally for Kratos' brother to be the one with the actual scar. So I don't want a Deimos game. I feel like it's just going back. I just don't see the point of that one. But that's just a minor disagreement.
it's perfectly fine if you're only interested in playing as Kratos and those are the only games you want. You can have your preferences, and guess what? You're getting more Kratos games. Hell, you just got one a couple months ago, and there's more in the works, okay?
I mean, he's not wrong. We did just get another Kratos game, but people were real mad about that one, which I don't get at all. I don't, like, it wasn't terrible. If it's not your style of gameplay, I get it, but it was fine. But I maybe I could see where some people would get annoyed with it. I probably wouldn't. Well, actually, no, I would have finished it. I wouldn't have streamed it if I didn't have to, but I would have finished it. Because I talked to Andrew, like, off stream, it was a lot more fun to play than on stream.
It's not over. He hasn't been replaced. Stop lying and saying it's not over. He hasn't been replaced.
What is this? What? What? What is this AI art thumbnail? First of all, you're completely replacing Kratos with a Kratos cosplay. That's essentially what this is a Kratos cosplay. That's not what... And you're doing it and you can even see where it just took someone's head and then mushed it on because he doesn't even have the scar. So that's dumb. Unless this is like is this the YouTuber's face? If this is the YouTuber's face, then I guess. And then this isn't even how she looks in any of the games. This looks like a character from Game of Thrones. What's her name? The Stark girl. So this is... Okay. Yeah, he hasn't been replaced.
Stop lying and say...
God, this is a terrible thumbnail. This is just as a thumbnail, this is bad. There's so much going on here. Okay, first of all, the background is inconsistent. It's not a clean background. It's not... what is this rock? Why is this here? Why is there this here? What does this even doing here? Sorry, as someone who makes thumbnails, I hate this thumbnail. Then you have a bunch of text that people have to read through. I want to see how many views this video got. If it's from a biggish creator, I'm going to say it probably got around a few thousand views. But this is so much to read through. Like, goodbye Kratos. Faye takes the spotlight. Fans are not happy. And then we have these 4 tweets. Another franchise ruined. No, it isn't. This isn't God of War. This is something else.
Saying he is. Another thing people got, he hasn't been replaced. Stop
Wait,
lying
what was that third
and
one?
saying he...
Okay, this is just someone who... They're becoming a female? That's... What? Okay, this is...
Another thing people got mad about was the title. Like, they were literally saying the game shouldn't have God of War in the title because we're not playing as Kratos, and this is clearly some attempt to mislead people and it's gonna cause problems. First of all, that's a very pedantic thing to complain.
Wait, that's stupid. That I have actually seen that argument around, but that is a dumb argument. Because your argument is it's going to mislead people. Did you watch the trailer? The trailer tells you what game it is. And the subtitle says, Lao Fei. So in what world is this title? It's not like the title is just God of War. If the title was just God of War, or if it just said God of War Kratos' story, then sure, that's misleading. But it literally tells you it's God of War Lao Fei. So what? So I'm confused. What is misleading about it? How could you... You'd have to actually be stupid to be misled to look, see new God of War, see the title, and somehow ignore all imagery, trailers, gameplay trailers, YouTube reactions, and articles, and posts, and tweets, and shorts, and everything. You'd have to somehow ignore all of that and still go out and buy the game to be misled. So it can't be misleading.
Do you honestly think that title is going to confuse anybody? They wrote Lao Fei in pretty big letters. Like, what do you think's going to happen? Do you think someone's going to be browsing games and then just read God of War and then immediately stop reading and not see Lao Fei or even look at the picture on the cover and then buy it and then be really angry later when they realize what they've bought? What kind of scenario is that?
Yeah, exactly. That's my thought too.
The game isn't called Kratos. It's called God of War. That doesn't only refer to Kratos. And before you come back at me and say what I know you're going to say, Mythology guy, Kratos is the God of War. That is what that title has always referred to in every game.
Yeah, I know what he's going to say here. No, it hasn't. It is not always referred to that. In the first game, God of War is Ares. Kratos was not the God of War in that first game. The story of that first game is fighting the God of War Ares. And also, in God of War, Sons of Sparta, he's not a god. Or at least he's not the God of War.
No, it hasn't. I don't know if you played the first game or not. You know, the game that launched the series.
It's fine.
Kratos wasn't God of War in that game. The title was not referring to him at that point. The game was called God of War because the villain was the God of War and Kratos was trying to kill him. It was referring to Ares. The game makes that pretty clear once he's introduced.
God of War.
You know, kind of like how in the game Hades, you're not actually playing as Hades. It's not until the very, very end of that game that Kratos becomes God of War. And at the time, that was a surprise reveal. Before that point, they made it look like Kratos was going to off himself at the end. The title then does refer to Kratos for the next few games. But when we get to the Norse games, I would actually argue that the title is also including Tyr. Since, not sure if you remember or not, but Tyr's position as a God of War factors pretty heavily into the themes of those games. Especially in the Valhalla DLC. There's also people straight up saying that this game is mislabeled because there's no Gods of War at all in it, which...
Already these 2 points. Yeah, the first one, it's 100%. Ares was God of War in the first game. Then for the beginning of God of War 2, Kratos is God of War. Then by the third one, he's excommunicado. So is he still the God of War? They don't want him to be God of War. I mean, I guess you could say he is. In Chains of Olympus, he wasn't a god yet. Or at least he wasn't the God of War. In Sons of Sparta, he wasn't the God of War. In God of War 2018 and Ragnarok, he's not the God of War in those games. He's not even a god from that region. They're mostly referring to Tyr in those games.
Really shows me that people don't do their own research. Like, the game has already confirmed 2 gods of war as the villains. Begsi is the Buddhist god of war, Sekhmet is the Egyptian god of war. Were you paying attention? If anything, it's kinda cool because it seems like this game is doing something similar to what the first game did, with having gods of war be villains instead of the protagonist. Hell, have you even stopped to consider that the fact that this game takes place in an afterlife for the gods means we could get returning characters from the Greek games? What if Ares comes back? What if the title is referring to him again? How amazing would that be? The whole thing would come full circle. Not gonna lie, I really shouldn't have said that because I'm gonna be pretty disappointed now if that doesn't happen. Hey, come to think of it,
I won't be disappointed, but it would. I'd be kind of sad. I'd be like, it's fine. The story depends on how good the story is. If the story is really good, I won't be disappointed. If I think it could have been better, which rarely I will think a story could have been better with a change that I come up with beforehand. Yeah.
Chains of Olympus and Sons of Sparta all take place before Kratos became God of War. So, none of those games had a God of War in them at all. Where's all the anger towards them? Where's this attitude for them, huh? Those are the games that are technically mislabeled, aren't they? Or maybe it's just a franchise title at this point, and it's there so you can easily tell what universe this is taking place in. But yeah, let's get to the part I know you're all waiting for me to talk about. The huge amount of people screaming that the game is woke. It's insanely woke slop, it's Gay Station's new woke agenda, or whatever the hell they're saying. And all I...
You can't own God of War 2 on PlayStation? Wait, what do you mean you can't? I'm confused. Which PlayStation are you talking about? Because if you're talking about PlayStation 5, you know they're making a remake for all 3 of the originals.
Can I ask in this sea of woke comments is... How on Gaia's green earth is it woke? I've watched through the footage several times now, and as far as I can tell, there isn't a single political thing said or shown. I don't know where you're getting politics from in this thing. Are we
on PS5, yeah, they're making a remake for them, so you'll be able to get them soon.
In a day and age now where we can't have a heterosexual white red-headed woman as the protagonist without people somehow finding a way to call it woke is simply the fact that it's a woman just in general woke. Everyone keeps saying that's not the reason, and I do not subscribe to the idea that most gamers hate women. I know for a fact that's not true, but I'm really running low on things to justify what people are saying.
I'm interested.
Woke? Is there some sort of cube rights movement going on right now that I haven't heard of?
I am Colonel Cubicles, leader of the Bullion. We are speaking to you now to issue an ultimatum. Free the cubes. Free the cubes.
That's a pretty good one.
It really just legitimately confused
what is
me
that
so
from?
much
I need to
that
know.
I put my question about it in a short sketch a little while ago, and after going through all the comments on that and some comments on some other videos on the matter, I think I've found 3 main reasons people are calling it woke, other than, the folks who are just saying ridiculously sexist stuff, but there's always weirdos. Number 1 is people who genuinely believe it's a male character being replaced by a female character. I already addressed that earlier. That's not what's happening. Get off that. Number 2 is people say that the dialogue with the cube and the ribbons sounds a little too modern.
Which part of it is... Were they saying, like, for the win, or, cowabunga, or, were they doing, like, the scuba or something? I'm confused.
I don't get how that makes it woke. If you don't like the way the dialogue sounds, that's legitimate criticism. It's something we can totally talk about, but I don't know how that makes it woke. I mean, we all talk in a modern dialogue. Are we all woke now? But of course, I don't want to misrepresent, so I went further into those comment chains, and it seems like the people who are saying that the dialogue is indicative of wokeness are saying, oh yes, they're not technically saying identity politics things in their dialogue, but I've been following the patterns that all of these games of recent that go into wokeness have been doing, and the way the characters are speaking is indicative of future wokeness in this franchise. I'm not making this up. Of future wokeness in this franchise. It shows the pattern that all of these companies are going down, and if you can't see it, you're just part of the machine and you don't understand.
Yeah, this is what crazy people say. This is what psychotic people say. And I'm not even saying that as a joke. I'm not saying that to be mean to these people. Because I have a family member, my half-brother, who, when he first went to jail and he called my dad, he's been in jail, yes. He called my dad, and he was diagnosed with bipolarism. And he was making a lot of delusions, and literal delusions. And he said at one point to my dad, "You don't understand. You can't read the messages left on the bricks by the angels. Only me and the guys who do meth in my jail can read those messages. Once you can read those, you'll understand that I'm supposed to be president." I'm not kidding. He literally said this. These are things psychotic people say. And I don't mean that to be mean. It's true. Psychotic people literally say these things. So if you say, "Oh, if you can't see the pattern, it's proof that this is going to," you know, that's called speculation. Okay? You can speculate all you want. But when you try and fight tooth and nail, like you're going to get stabbed, or there's a guy holding a gun to your head if you don't do it, you're being psychotic at that point. You can say, you could say, "I've seen this pattern. I'm worried we're going down this pattern again." That's a valid thing to say. Or if you see some dialogue stuff, you're like, "I'm not a fan of how this dialogue is written." That's a valid thing to say. But to say and how much dialogue did we actually see? Like maybe 5 minutes of dialogue at most. And it was just them saying, "We've been captured here. My name is Frank. I'm not the sword. I'm the ribbons. Grab the sword." Like the words they say, if those are the words you're seeing, and you're like, that equals a pattern of words that I've seen other games use as well, like the word "grab the sword," which is a basic thing. I mean, they say that in King Arthur's story from hundreds of years ago. I don't think you call that woke. You see that, and you go, clearly they're going to be woke. This is proof that these games are going to become woke because I've seen a few points. You're psychotic at that point. It makes no sense. That is literally like you have dainbermage. I'm sorry, you're terminally online. You need to get off your phone, your computer, everything for like a week. Don't go on social media because you are hearing things that are being shoved in your brain. And I see it from people who hate other people who say other stuff in the reverse of wokeness. Like when they're like, "Oh, this character is this and that's racist." That's just as bad. That's just as bad as being like, "Oh, this is woke." So you're really just doing the same thing they do, and it's crazy. Some people need to go to a mental hospital. Yeah, we got to bring them back.
Okay, Mr. Oracle, I don't know how to argue with that. I guess we'll see when the game comes out if you're right. Who knows? Maybe you are. Maybe your incredible deductive reasoning and ways to break down people's dialects is spot on the money. We'll see. I will eat my words, and then you'll probably translate them as woke indicators or something. But put your bets at the window right there. I'm giving you 20-1 odds, and we'll see what happens. Then
21 odds is pretty good.
Reason it's supposedly woke, and this is actually the one that seems to be the most regurgitated. It's they made the character ugly. Like, not the voice actress. The voice actress is a very good-looking woman. They all acknowledge this. However, when they put her in the game, they took that character model and they beat it with the ugly stick, then tied it to the...
I didn't know she was here. Chat, look at this. She's not supposed to be up here, but this is so cute. Look at this. Say hi, Swoosh. Say hi. You can't really see her because she's not very photogenic. Here, let me turn on the lights behind her so it helps. Does that help? Look at it. The Swoosh is here. You're not supposed to be up there, kitty. I heard a sound behind me and I was like, what is that? That's actually really cute. You're distracting me from my video. Come here, Swoosh. Ugh. Come here. Here, go in the pouch. Go in the pouch. Ugh. Okay, fine. You want to be on the shoulders? You can be on the shoulders. She's just got her butt in my face now. Nice. You okay? You okay?
The ugly truck with an ugly rope and dragged it down Ugly Street for 100 ugly miles. What the hell are you talking about? She looks like the voice actress. It's pretty well transferred over from what I saw. Did we watch the same footage? What are you on about? Oh, wait, it looks like all the people making this argument are proving it by showing one single frame from a scene where the character is supposed to look taken aback, alongside a picture of the actress's headshot where she is trying to look as appealing as possible. Yeah, that's totally a fair, nuanced comparison. 23 minutes of footage, but that one frame is what makes the whole thing unacceptable. Yeah, very fair comparison. Not manipulative at all. Nope, not for a second. And by the way, definitely not something that can easily be replicated to show how ridiculous it is. Oh my god, look at how they uglified Emma Stone in the movie La La Land.
That's a good point. I never noticed that one before.
I mean, definitely don't consider the context of that scene I put in there, and please do not watch any other scene from the movie. No. She clearly looks like that throughout the whole thing for no reason other than wokeness. Just look at that and get extremely angry. Don't think for yourself. Don't do it. I think a lot of people hopped on this bandwagon pretty easily because they were still mad about the MJ redesign in Spider-Man 2.
Which, fair enough. That one was dumb. I didn't like that redesign. Okay, girl. Oh, such a little bean girl. Okay, it's almost time for your dinner, so you gotta get out, okay? It's almost time for your dinner. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Never gonna finish this video with that cat around.
We have to go all conspiracy theory and start accusing everyone of stuff like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
I really don't see how you can call the character ugly.
Well,
Again,
you see,
like
I
the
don't
voice
like
actor.
it,
Doesn't
so
seem
therefore.
Like anybody has a problem with how she looks, so what's the problem? How did we even get here? The reveal literally started by holding on this face for a while. Did you not see that? Do you think this face is ugly? I think she looks like Lady Galadriel. The amount of people calling this slop also really confuses the hell out of me. Like, do you even know what slop means? As I understand, slop is a term for when something is overly repetitive and not creative and low effort.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like when you go to the high school cafeteria, or the jail, or getting food in jail, and they just have a mash of food and they just slop it onto your tray. That's what slop is supposed to be, except for it's entertainment slop, where it's just really low quality, basic stuff that is really bad. And if you really dug into it, it's not very good.
That's why we call AI slop, because it's literally just degraded, stolen work pumped out over and over again. So I really don't understand how you can call this game slop. Like, if she was using the exact same moveset Kratos was using before, then yeah, I would understand. And at first, I actually thought it was going to be something like that, because I really thought it would be a prequel where she was using the axe, and thus it would be a very easy-to-make game with a lot of reused assets. But that's not the case here. It takes place in an entirely new area, so no reusing the locations they've already made. She also has a completely new weapon, so no reusing any of those gameplay assets. And on top of that, she seems to play completely different from how Kratos did. She's much more fluid and spinny. She has sliding dashes. They brought back aerial combat, which is something the fans have been asking for a while. Hell, the double jumping is back. How many games can you name where you can knock someone's spirit out of their body? Not to mention, I don't see any reused enemy types. On top of that, we're getting entirely new cultures in this game. We're getting Asian Tibetan Buddhism and Egyptian mythology, something fans have wanted in a God of War game for God knows how.
Yeah, but you know, it's not the exact game I wanted, therefore slop. Terrible 0% slop.
Can you name for me a single game with Begsy in it? Can you name for me off the top of your head a game with Sekhmet in it? The only one
Age
I
of
can think of
Mythology.
is Assassin's Creed Origins. And again, this is only what's been shown so far.
Or is
Who knows
Sekhmet
what
not
else
an Age of
they might
Mythology?
include? It's an afterlife for the gods. You could include any culture you want. And I would really, 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 really love to see some of Kratos' old Greek enemies return here. What if we get Helios again? I thought he was hilarious in Valhalla. And again, what if Ares comes back? That would be mind-blowing.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
So cool to see Faye finally meet some of the characters from Kratos' past when she knows about his past. Like, actually see her husband's stories come to life. This could be huge fan service for us God of War fans. Are you seriously gonna sit there and tell me this is slop? That this is low effort?
Yeah, that looks epic.
Uncreative.
That looks so much fun.
For being excited for this game. Well, I'm sorry. I love God of War and I love Mythology. This is the kind of stuff I get excited for. And I get really excited when more possibilities open up like this game is seeming to do. Oh, I almost forgot. The fact that this game takes place in an afterlife for the gods has brought on its own wave of criticisms from people saying, why is Lao Fei even here? She is not a god. She's a Jotun, a giant. That's not a god. What is wrong with these people? They can't follow their own continuity.
First of all,
It's
Kratos
really
shouldn't
funny
be a
how
god either.
People say stuff like that because it showcases they have no idea what they're talking about. All right, education time. Let me explain to you guys how the deity system works in Norse mythology. Now, the Norse
I already know this part, but I'm going to listen to it anyways. Basically, the Norse gods, the Norse kind of, they looked at their gods very differently than we look at, like the Greek gods and things. They were not beings who were immortal and capable of doing anything they wanted. They were basically superheroes. They were basically superheroes. Yeah, it's a good way of putting it. They were superheroes who ate this magic fruit that made them live longer. That's the best way to look at it. And the Jotuns, also, some of them were gods, like what's his name? Set, Ymir, Loki.
Exactly gods in the same way as other cultures. In fact, they weren't even immortal. They could all be killed in battle, as evidenced by multiple stories, and of course Ragnarok, where nearly all of them die. And in fact, they weren't even ageless. The only reason they didn't die of old age was because they were eating the apples of Idun, which would restore their youth every time they ate one. It honestly seems like being a god in Norse mythology mainly just means you're an incredibly powerful being who reigns over something. And from what I've seen, there were 3 classes of gods in Norse mythology. Aesir, the war gods, Vanir, the nature gods, and the Jotun deities, gods of the giants. Yes, there were several giants in Norse mythology who were widely referred to as gods. These include Skadi, the Jotun goddess of ice and hunting, Aegir, the Jotun god of the ocean, Ran, the Jotun goddess of drowning, Elli, the Jotun goddess of old age, and, oh, here's one you may not have heard of, Loki, the Jotun god of mischief. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was pretty simple.
He eventually joined the Aesir, but he was still born a Jotun and got his powers from that lineage. Kinda surprised you guys don't know that. I guess the MCU isn't popular enough. Speaking of which, ever heard of Hel, the Jotun goddess of death? She is the daughter of Loki and his Jotun lover, Angerboda. On top of that, some of the Aesir themselves have Jotun ancestry. Tyr has a Jotun grandmother. Thor's mother is the Jotun goddess Jord. Odin's mother is the Jotun goddess Besla. Since Loki is both a Jotun and a deity, it stands to reason that his 2 parents, Farbauti and Lao Fei, were deities as well.
It's a simple fucking concept.
On top of that, Lao
Got
Fei
him.
and the
That was a good
gods
clip. I love that. That was great.
Jotun
Oh my
maybe
god, why
that
does this keep
means
turning
she was
on?
a deity of some kind. Just because Kratos didn't know doesn't mean she wasn't one. There's a ton he didn't know about her. So yeah, stop acting like Lao Fei being a giant is some sort of gotcha. She has no place in this afterlife. You are only making yourself look stupid by saying that. Besides, it's not like God of War ever follows its own continuity with how gods work anyway. Kratos was very clearly born mortal in the old games because he only had one godly parent. The characters constantly refer to him as mortal throughout those games, and Athena says she's the one who made him a god after he ascended, and yet suddenly in the Norse games he's saying he was born a god. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, research comes a long way when it comes to criticism. It really does, especially when you're researching something that's so easily researched.
Do not forget that it was I who made you a god, Ghost of Sparta.
But the truth is, I was born a god.
In fact, it especially doesn't make sense now, because if you were born a god, you should have gone to the godly afterlife when you died, and not down to Hades in the first game. Then there's the folks just acting like Lao Fei being a badass came right the fuck out of nowhere, and it was unearned and not built up, and she was never relevant to the plot before this point. Are you serious? Do you pay attention when you play story-based games, or do you just skip all the cutscenes? Lao Fei was constantly built up and talked about by the characters you encounter in both games.
They made the axe for her. It's shown in Ragnarok that she fought with Thor and created a frozen lightning bolt before Kratos did that.
Brock and Sindri made the axe for her. She was the guardian of the Jotnar. Mimir had heard legends about her.
Faye was the last guardian of the Jotnar left in Midgard. That's why we made her the axe.
Laufey was a rumour in the halls of Asgard. A giantess warrior who thwarted many an Aesir god's plans, freeing those who they would enslave, feeding those who they would starve, generally making a nuisance of herself in the most noble of ways.
The 2018 game ends with a reveal that she knew about and orchestrated all of the events of that game. God of War Ragnarok has a side quest that reveals she once fought Thor to a standstill. She also fought Kratos when they first met.
Dina and I wondered where she went after our little coup here failed.
You cannot sit there with a straight face and actually claim this is some kind of unearned, unbuilt-up Mary Sue situation. Now, on the flip side, I have heard people complaining by saying they don't want to play as her because they want her to be more mysterious, or they want her
Yeah,
to
that one I
have
totally
more
get. That's
weight.
fine.
That I get, okay? I like that we're getting this game, but that's at least a criticism I can understand.
Yeah, that's a personal
But yeah,
criticism.
You can criticize the game. There are just forms of criticism that come off as extremely disingenuous or ridiculous. That's why I'm talking about them. Like, for example, colors, characters, art design, everything looks LGBT. I've seen the whole thing. Looks bad.
Of course, he has a what do you call it? A JJK PFP. The JJK people with JJK profile pictures are always have the cringiest takes that I can see every time. No offense to JJK fans, but it's true.
What part of it was LGBT to you? Was it the wife and mother who desperately misses her husband and son and has visions of her husband that inspire her? Was it the male and female villains rubbing up on each other? Was it the male and female sentient objects?
That's gay. Why is that gay?
Oh, and apparently some people are really angry because some of the game's developers confirmed that they got into God of War through the Norse games.
My first experience with God of War was playing 2018.
I started my first God of War game with 2018 as well.
Why is that something to get mad about? A lot of people were introduced to...
Yeah, no, that's totally fine. I don't... that's how... I was introduced to it from God of War 3, but I didn't fall in love with the series until 2018. I didn't think God of War 3 was... I thought it was fine. I thought it was... it was fun, but I didn't really want to go back to it. Whereas 2018, I could play that every few years.
it doesn't mean they didn't go back and play the Greek games as a result. Are you just saying people of this generation can't create games? Even if you do believe that, did you bother to check who the game's main director was? It's Ariel Lawrence. She's been working on the God of War franchise since the first game.
I would like to introduce Laufey's game director, Ariel Lawrence, whom I've had the pleasure of working with for more than 20 years. Man, there is nobody that I trust more to bring this story to life than her.
Is that good enough for you guys? And you know what? Even
I
if
can,
she
but
somehow hadn't, even if everyone working on
this game is also part of the Norse series. Why do they care if they know about the Greek games? Exactly. And here's the thing. That's not even what they're saying. They said that's where they got their start. What if that game got them to go back and play all the other games, right? And they really liked those games. And they're like, how do we incorporate those into the new game?
God of War games. Why would that affect much anyway? The game is about Lao Fei. She was introduced in the Norse games. So if people know the Norse games, they probably know enough about the character to write about her. But even so, that's not even the case. The main director has been with the studio for over 20 years. You know what? That's enough brain rot for today. And I really think you guys get the point, you know? Kratos is not being replaced. You are getting more Kratos games. You just got one, and there are confirmed remakes and sequels in the works. The title is not misleading.
No, he's not being replaced. You are being disingenuous, bermage. You are lying, straight up lying. The creators literally said, we are going to make more stories with Kratos. So he's not being replaced. It is a spin-off game. If you cannot deal with spin-offs, then you should just not play long-form series.
It is a franchise title, and on top of that, there are multiple Gods of War in the game. There is really no reason to call it woke, unless your dialogue conspiracy is somehow right.
Yeah, that's
really
psychotic.
Looking forward to see how that turns out. The character has not been uglified. That is an extremely...
It's not... Where did you see that? Where? Show me where it was a sequel. Okay, God of War, Lao Fei. Sequel or side story, spin-off. It's a mainline installment rather than traditional spin-off. It's a midquel running parallel to the timeline of God of War. Okay, so it's even then we're both wrong. But even so, that's not replacing the character. You can have two stories going at one point. Okay? Like, in the Avengers universe, we had Captain America and Iron Man films at the same time. We didn't get rid of one for the other. This is the same thing. So he's not being replaced. God of War is not the MCU. Okay, that's called an analogy. Do you know what an analogy is? I'm not saying it's the same. I'm saying it's similar, and you can use it as a comparison. They don't have to be exactly the same to compare them. By that logic, a midquel isn't a sequel, therefore you're still wrong. No, my analogy is perfect. You just don't like it. You can't prove to me how it's bad without saying it's not the MCU. Prove to me in mathematical terms, in unarguable terms, without using the words it's not the MCU. How is it bad? I wouldn't say he's an idiot, but I'd say he's being very thick-headed right now, Optimus. Okay, and here, look, I'll use another example. The DCU. Oh my God, the DCU is an MCU, and it's the same thing. Or here, I'll use another example. Let's see. All the times they've tried to make shows that go at the same spin-off shows of other TV shows that go at the same time. Okay, it's not replacing it, it's just another show that's going on. You just seem to be trying to antagonize Zagard tonight. You've been doing it since I got here. No, I don't think he's trying to antagonize me. I think he just has his opinions and they just conflict with mine just enough to argue. It's fine. God of War maybe isn't the MCU, but it's allowed to expand its universe. Exactly. Like, what? Do they have to stick with one character for every game forever? If so, I don't want to keep playing the games after a while. It's going to get bad. And then they're going to have to move on and make a new series. And if you do that, you're not going to bring in the old fans like you would. And again, you can't say he's being replaced when they literally said he's not being replaced. Like that logic makes no sense. The creator said he's not being replaced, but I believe he is. Okay, if in 3 to 5 years after this game comes out, and they say, yeah, we're not making any more Kratos games, then I'm with you. That sucks for Kratos fans. But until then, you're just projecting. They don't need to stick with Kratos all the time, but the replacement should be someone more worthy. How do you define worthiness? What does that even mean? What? What is it? What? Who? What do you mean more worthy? That doesn't... How do you measure the worthiness of a character? How do you measure their ability to be the next character in the series? What? I'm trying to follow this logic. Kratos can be replaced, but not with this one because they're not worthy. Are you Excalibur now? Or no, not the Sword and the Stone? Is that what we're doing here? She has to pull the metaphorical, emotional Sword and the Stone to be allowed to be the next character. How do you do that? I don't what? I'm trying to wrap my head around this. Okay. Faye was mentioned a few times and had at best 10 minutes of screen time. Does that sound like someone worthy of being a lead? Yes. Yes, it does. What? What? By that logic, okay, when you have a movie where a character or a show talks about another character for 10 seconds, and then you make a movie about that character, you can't do that because you only talked about them for 10 minutes. Then Thor and Captain America shouldn't have made their own movies because they teased them in the previous films too. They teased Thor at the end of which film was it? It wasn't Iron Man. Was it Iron Man? Was it The Incredible Hulk? They teased Coulson is going to go to New Mexico, and then in the end of during Iron Man 2, he holds up a Captain America shield, and that was their hint that they're going to have Captain America exists. Does that mean that Captain America can't be the lead now because he was only in 2 seconds? For like 2 seconds of the film, they showed his shield. Like, is there a standard amount of time? And does there need to be X amount of dialogue for a character to be worthy? Do they have to be mentioned within 500? Does there need to be a 500-page essay on this character, and then they need 10, like a whole hour of screen time? Okay, fine. Then I'll use Spider-Man. Okay? I'll use specifically Spider-Man. If they make another Spider-Man film with Miles Morales, is that a bad thing because they've only mentioned Miles Morales once in passing in Spider-Man Homecoming? He can't be the lead of a new film because there wasn't a 20-page essay on who Miles Morales was in the movie or in the script, and we didn't see him for 30 minutes of the film. They can't have a Miles Morales film where he's a fan of Spider-Man and also gets bit by a spider? Is that what you're telling me? Or let's go with another character. Let's go with if they wanted to make a monsters universe, right? Where it's the Mummy, Dracula, all those characters. If they start with a Mummy movie and during a part of it, there's a cult of vampire worshippers, and they're like, "Our Lord shall find you, the great Lord," and then they kill him. And then they show a guy going, "My Lord, they have killed your minions," and then it just shows a man with vampire teeth sucking someone's blood, and he goes, "Well, then I will kill them," or something like that. Does that mean we can't have a Dracula film because he was only talked about for less than 10 minutes and in 2 scenes of dialogue? Like, come on. What does that even mean? You can't have a spin-off game because they were only showed, or a game with another character because they were only in part of it. This character was built up multiple times throughout the dialogue as a very powerful and cool character. They built like Andrew says it in the video, they built the axe for her. It was her axe first. People talked about how great of a warrior she was. She went toe-to-toe with Thor. She was the whole reason the quest in the first game even happened. She knew the events of what was going to happen. She knew how Ragnarok was going to go. She knew who Kratos was. When Kratos was rendered, they fought to a standstill. Like, do we need to see all that first? Did you need like an hour of gameplay of them fighting before you can accept her as a worthy character? Yeah, see, Alpha's saying all the stuff I was saying. He's just giving pointless arguments that I'm going to go home. Okay, Alpha, I understand. The character had enough screen time in a previous game. We wouldn't need a prequel to explore. Optimus Philip just you just hit the nail on the head. Thank you. If the character had enough screen time to be an entertaining character on their own in the previous game, we wouldn't need a spinoff for that character. The Uncharted games are about Nathan Drake. However, Chloe Fraser had her own name. Unlike Faye, Chloe was an actual character that we spent time with. We spent time with Faye, yes, in a flashback, but we still spend time with her. You know, there's more than one way to have a character show up. You don't have to just do it the same way. 10 minutes is a lot of time. If you don't think 10 minutes is a lot of time, I want you to take this challenge. You're going to turn off all your devices. You're going to go outside. You're going to paint the wall and stare at it for 10 minutes. And tell me if those 10 minutes went by. It doesn't. So it matters how long the original game was. So if the original game was 20 minutes, it would be fine. If the original game was 11 minutes and 10, like it doesn't matter how long Ragnarok is for a character to be valuable. Look at Ares in God of War. How much screen time is he in the game? And I'm not talking about how often do they talk about it. I'm talking about how much screen time he actually has front and center speaking to you. If they made an Ares game, would you be upset? Everyone likes Draco Malfoy. He was in the entire franchise for about 30 minutes. Thank you, Alpha. Ares was the main villain. Okay, well, Alpha's point then. Draco Malfoy is in about 30 minutes of the entire 8-movie franchise. If they made a story about Draco Malfoy, about what it was like after, do you hate it? Would you hate that? Would you be, do we need a spin-off with Draco? We don't need these games at all. This isn't a need, Baron. If you never play another video game, will you die? Literally, will your body just collapse? No. So the whole do we need a spin-off isn't an argument. Also, the lore that was established makes it why she is the main character. Look, you can just say you don't like it. That's fine. But your arguments are bad. They're just bad. They're very selfish and they're short-minded. They're short-sighted and tunnel vision on nitpicky points about why we can't have this. Why not just be excited for it or hesitant? And then when the game comes out and you say, and you play through it and you say, oh, I don't like the gameplay, or I don't like the dialogue, or I don't like the story, then we'll have a conversation. And you could say, oh, I didn't like this, I didn't like that. That's fine. But saying a character is not worthy is terrible. Those two things don't mean the same thing. It doesn't matter if a character is a minor character. You know, that is a terrible argument. Look at Borderlands. In Borderlands 2, there's a character who, the villain, and then they made a whole game based on him. You barely see him throughout the game, if I remember correctly, Handsome Jack. And they made a whole game about how he became Handsome Jack. How much game time is that? I don't care about Borderlands. Okay, well then you don't care about actually thinking about what makes a game good, or what we could do. So I'm gonna have to. Your opinions make no sense. You read the theory that the cube is the Lady of the Lake and the sword is Excalibur. I have not read that theory. I'm not following a lot of theories, but believable. At least with the sword one I see. The cube, I don't know. I don't want to look. That one, that's a bit weird. Okay, so again, you don't really get to, also, Baron, you don't get to decide who deserves to have their own game. You really don't. That's not your, you don't get to make that decision, and that opinion is not really a fact. That is just your opinion. If you believe that, that's fine, but that's a weird opinion to have. Yes, she's a minor character. Who cares? Okay. Legitimately, who cares? If you care, then your priorities are bad. All that, yeah, okay. By that logic, Ares doesn't warrant being the main villain because everything he did was off screen. All the other evil stuff he did was off screen. Or, all the Zeus becoming the villain the second isn't valid because everything he did was off screen. Until he didn't do it. Like, what? Everything Kratos did before he became the evil warrior he did was... Yeah, he technically did. He hypnotized them off screen. He wasn't there. He wasn't physically there. Oh, yeah, that's another good point. Boba Fett is one of the most popular characters from Star Wars. He was a minor character. How many spin-offs did he get? He didn't even talk in the original series. And people wanted stories of him. So let's move on. So your arguments are, I'm not having this argument with you anymore. And I'm actually gonna end the stream because I have to go make dinner. It's 7:30. Holy hell, that was crazy. All right, chat. I will see you all next time. Those were some great games of Deadlock. Thank you for joining me for those. I'm so glad I'm winning games again. We'll see you next time. We'll see you on Friday, possibly. I'll let you know. There might be something coming up. But until then, stay safe. No, I'm not running away. You just... I'm going to have to time you. Yeah, this is turning... yeah, that's why I want to leave. I'm so tired of people. I'm not tired. I don't want to have arguments with people forever about this. It's a bad argument. It's ridiculous. I will see you all next time. Stay safe, stay smart, stay healthy. Be thankful for everything and everything in your life. And remember, don't leave yourself. Believe in me! Ooh, we should go out and chat. Yeah, that's why I muted. That's why I timed him out for 7 days. So he'll be back in a week.